had a little chat with BC before this presentation and was made very happy by the things that I have learned. So best practices from this presentation for you guys are work with other guys on the desk to build tools that can help the two of you. Oftentimes, one of you will have a pretty good trading strategy, and maybe the other can pitch in helping with filters or some sort of signal idea so that both of you can make a little bit more money. Maybe the one guy with the strategy helps share a little bit more about how he does it, and you bring a little bit more of the technology expertise or innovation to the team effort. And then the good thing about that is, since the two of you are invested in the same strategy, you can share ideas, share thoughts about how you traded it, and work to get better at these setups. It's not enough to know what a setup is. There's a development time to being able to trade it profitably. And having a buddy, having a co-pilot is a really good best practice for you to do so. Secondly, being bionic is a must in this marketplace. If you want to be a discretionary trader, you have to be discretionary plus bionic. You want to understand where your edge is, and you want to be building filters to fire signals for setups that make the most sense to you. We're all different. Whatever those signals are, great. As long as you feel they have edge and you've recorded that edge. So on that note, I am in a good mood. And although my mood can turn to sour at any moment. So that doesn't mean there won't be any yelling and screaming during this presentation. But on that note, we'll hand over to BC, and he'll explain one other best practice, I think, which I want to notice, which is, I talked about this in the playbook. Can you express your ideas in other products other than equities? Can you take what you've learned from equities and find ways to express them in options, which is what BC and one of the other guys on the desk is doing. And that's great. We'd love to see that. Okay, so on that note, let's run through this trade.
All right, here's the big picture. This is the SPYs after it broke out. It's been just consolidating around highs. This trade the SPY doesn't really affect this trade that I'm going to be talking about, SUNE, but I'll go into further detail on SUNE. This is the intraday fundamental. So the weekend before, I scanned through a bunch of charts, and this was one of my A+ setups. I like the breakout, and then the guy who sits behind me who trades options, he also found an unusual option activity. So we dug in a little bit more, and we found that these were really unusual option activity, because this was the 16th, this was June 16th, and there was a guy buying, or someone buying, a lot of option at 24.50, which is the week after. And then the week after that, they purchased a bunch more as well. So we really thought this was interesting, and that's what we traded off of. Not just the level, unusual option activity, and there was a significant short float. We thought it was over 20%, so we added that in there as well. So this is the chart that we're looking at. This was the 22 level that was really clean on the daily. So that was something that I liked. And the previous day, there was significant momentum as well, and it was kind of like a second day play, and it was a technical breakout, and there was unusual option activity. So I just had multiple layers of probabilities on my side that I thought I could use, and it worked out. Here is the 5-minute chart. This was the previous day. You can see the strength, and then this was the morning of the breakout at 22. But you can see that there was volume stepping in before the breakout. And here is how I managed my trade. So in the morning, I was still kind of sketched out. I saw the option activity, I saw the level, but when my other filters, besides my option filters, my volume filters went off, I started getting a feeler. And when they were aggressively paying the offers, I joined in as well. So I got a little feeler, added, and then this part where it held higher, almost at breakout price, it wicked it above breakout and came back down. There was a significant held bid. I think this was like 95 cents. The guy was just buying a bunch load, so I bought in front of him as well, and I just traded with the guy and just scalped out after that.
Okay, good. So good stuff. So, overall, these trades don't have to be complicated. When really the hard part, I think, is identifying where you have edge, and then lots of people leave a lot of money on the table by not doing that extra work. I think one of the habits that traders need to get into going forward is spending a little bit of time each day tweaking filters, creating filters, building new filters to maximize edge. And then secondly, to spend time playing around with automated strategies. So there's a bunch of guys out there, which I love to see, who are playing around with some ideas in Q&A and recording those results. There's guys on the desk that are playing around with back tests and trying to come up with automated strategies. So that habit of each day spending a certain chunk of your time, a certain segment of your time, that's up to each individual trader, whether that's 30 minutes a day building filters, or an hour a day back testing, whatever sort of makes sense for each trader. But there should be a chunk of time where you're working with technology to be more bionic and to be automated. So you're putting yourself in the best position to succeed. I don't know what the markets are necessarily going to look like going forward. I do know there's lots of opportunity being bionic and playing around with automated strategies. And this is a good example of a couple of guys getting together who are pretty focused guys and not just relying on what they're seeing in real time in marketplaces, but taking that a step further and trading what they're seeing and what their custom filters that they've built are finding. The latter is much more powerful. Okay, on that note, I love to see this stuff. I'm now in a good mood, and we'll be in a good mood for at least another 10 minutes. So on that note, these are great best practices for you guys to follow, and we'll talk to you soon.
Hi, I'm Mike Bellafiore, author of The Playbook and One Good Trade, co-founder of SMBU and SMB Capital here in New York City. If you want to learn more about SMB, please go check out smbu.com. Check out our blog where we share tons of trading tips, trading stories, trades we're in, trading anecdotes, and also take the time to sign up for our 10-day free training program, which we offer to the trading community at smbu.com. We hope you enjoy it. We hope to see you on the site. Trade well.